Matthew here from the Mini Wargaming Forge with another update behind the scenes of what's going on here at the Forge. I actually have a ton going on, a ton. I'm going to be posting more videos soon, but they're being edited, so I wanted to throw this one in here to kind of satiate you until we get there, because there's all sorts of fun things going on. So I'm going to flip the camera around, and we're going to take a little tour. So we're coming to the Forge here. We'll talk about that in a second. Say hi, James.
Hey.
Oh, say hi, Jeremy.
Hi.
I'm making a video for the Forge. So Jeremy's the first new thing. Not thing, of course, a human being with real feelings and emotions. So put on the spot. He didn't even know I was making this video. Jeremy is our new Forge, sorry, what were we calling you? Not a servitor.
No, I was a tech adept.
A tech adept or something like that? Yeah. So another tech priest? We've got another tech priest in the Forge. Yeah. Another hobgrad. He wants to be a hobgrad, but sure. We'll get you a costume for that. So we were just, James was getting too busy to do the things I was asking him to do. And so we had to hire an assistant to the assistant. Isn't that right, James?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. And the thing is, actually, what I said is technically true, but maybe a little deceiving, because really what was happening is that our number of projects was growing faster than they were being completed. Yeah. And that's not some incompetence thing. It's actually the opposite. Because we've been discovering some hidden talents of James, which is to actually design cool stuff. So now I'm having him spend more of that time. On top of that, I put a video up about how we figured out how to make these bad boys print 3 times faster. And a little update to that, talking to Frozen, apparently they said, yeah, no, the 6 times faster is for the Mega. Even though the video they posted was clearly the Mighty, like 100,000%. They actually show the Mighty printing 6 times faster. But they sent us a Mega that prints 6 times faster with the new ACF. But hey, 3 times faster meant that the amount of resin that we're able to pump out is just, it's a good portion of the day, as you can see, just to clean it up and take care of it. And so between that and all the stuff that we've been printing, which we'll talk about in a second, James just wasn't able to keep up. And that's a good thing, because that means that the Forge is growing. Revenue-wise, you guys are great. We're getting more support. People buying stuff on the Forge, so miniwargamingforge.com. And Bambu Labs has promoted a few things, or sponsored a few things. So yeah, it's growing. So big thanks to all that. So James is spending more time designing things now. So if, for example, we're working on new widgets, we're starting simple, like measuring widgets like this, which will be printed in multicolor. And we're actually going to be working on bases, like doing textured bases. That'll be both FDM and resin compatible, because I know there's a lot of texture bases out there, but they usually require resin. So we're actually trying to develop a line that are magnet ready. And this one's obviously not textured. We're just testing out some different things. But that'll actually have a texture that is friendly with FDM printers, which means you don't have to have a resin printer, which I think is a big barrier to entry for a lot of people.
That's the plan anyways.
Yeah, that's the plan. I think we can do it, because the Bambu Labs is able to print off really nice details. So it won't be as nice as resin, of course, but if we design it with FDM in mind, then we should be able to come up with some pretty good ones. So for now, these are in development. They'll be on the site soon, in multicolor, printed, and if you have a printer, we'll sell the STLs too, because right now I'm of the opinion that we should do both. Maybe one day I'll change my mind. But I know people out there are hesitant to sell the STLs because it means, oh, then they can print their own and all that. It's like, yeah, but I don't know. There's still a small portion of the community that are 3D printers. And even if a lot of them were, then that's just like, well, then give them what they want, because then you'd sell the stuff to them and you'd just do that. And so right now the scorecards are available at miniwargaming.forge.com, miniwargamingforge.com. So there they are. So they're actually usually 3 colors, black, whatever main color, and then the green, unless you happen to be Steve, who's already green, in which case they're 2 colors, 4 colors, because there's also the white. And so that brings us to another thing, printing in multicolor. If you hadn't seen, actually no, you haven't seen, I have a review of the Bambu Lab P1S that we're finishing up. I've already filmed it, but it'll be going up. So spoiler alert, I like it, but watch the video to get more detail. So it's not just like an automatic buy if you're making terrain, but there's some stuff to consider for it. So Bambu Labs actually sent us this one for free to review, and it's been printing non-stop scorecards for people who keep buying them, because every day we get more sales, and so much so that I bought an AMS the AMS being the thing on the top of the printer, and bought one for the X1 Carbon. We're waiting for more of the proper filament to come in. Not that you need special filament, but just the colors that we're looking for the score trackers. And then this thing will be pumping them out as well. So that's a lot of fun. What are these printers printing off right now? Is it Hagglethorn stuff?
Yep.
Okay, we'll go look at that in the other room in a second, but we're basically just printing more and more terrain that will be available to have on the website at miniwargamingforge.com. We can't sell the STLs for this. This is from Printable Scenery. We have the license to print and sell, but you have to go to their website. If you go to miniwargaming.com/printable, then that gives us an affiliate commission, but you have to go there to buy it. So they're busy doing that. And then the resin printers are busy printing more of the damned stuff, which is the Trader Guard proxies that Wargames Atlantic partnered with us to make. And so the late pledge manager for that is still open, so you can get all sorts of stuff. We've only got the Guard Command Squad and the Heavy Weapons team and the Ogres. And Jeremy's been busy cleaning them up and assembling them all, because we got to get them painted so we can start making some battle reports with them. But they're super. We'll just use Imperial Guard rules, but call them Trader Guard, which is pretty cool. And so, yeah, you can get all of this. They're going to be actually fulfilled pretty soon too. I think by the end of the year, they're going to be pretty close to being able to start sending stuff out, which is pretty neat. And then Ravish Star of course is coming soon. There's Jeremy in the mirror. You can see him in the mirror. Say hi, Jeremy. There we are. So that's pretty cool stuff. But yeah, so we got that. Ooh, and I got my own little personal pet project right here. It's a big airship, because I'm starting a Spelljammer campaign for D&D. And so this is the bottom of the airship. This is from Arcane Minis on My Mini Factory. I've actually technically got a license to print and sell that too. So if you're interested in having one of those bad boys printed up, it's not on the website, so just email me, Matthew@miniwargaming.com, and I'll figure, if you really want it, I'll figure out a price that is reasonable, and we'll print and sell it to you unassembled, because it takes too long to assemble it, just unless you want to pay a lot of money, because it's not worth it. I've also been printing more of this fun stuff off, because we keep having people coming for tours, and we like to have little fun giveaways, so these dragons and all that. We don't have a license to sell these, but doesn't mean we can't give them away. So, anyways, and there's a big bucket of leftover Hexen Hills. Let's go take a look at the other room, where you can see all the Hagglethorn stuff that we've been printing. So we come into what's turned into the staging room. Look at this place. We're going to have to start cleaning it up, which we do have plans for. But you can see all the Hagglethorn stuff we're doing. If you wonder what Hagglethorn is, it's a Kickstarter that Printable Scenery did a while ago, a couple of years ago, I think. And this guy actually hand sculpted these beautiful pieces of fantasy terrain. And then they scanned everything in and then optimized it for FDM printing. And so it's just gorgeous stuff. It's got such a cool style to it. And they're big buildings. Everything is obviously multi-level, so you can play it with Dungeons and Dragons or role-playing games, whatever. You can pull them apart as your adventurers move through them. So this stuff is really cool. So we're printing off a big set, because of course, if we want to sell it, we got to show it off in battle reports. So you can look forward to seeing more of that. And then over here, you've already seen the 8mm terrain if you've been watching. And my Tyranids, unrelated to 3D printing, because these aren't 3D printed, these are just from Games Workshop. But I've been enjoying painting those. I've added Hive Guard and Exocrine / Harrowspecs. We got a new Flying Hive Tyrant. I think I'm up to about 8,000 or 9,000 points now, so I'm almost halfway there. Got to get to 20,000 points to complete this collection. Might take me a few more months to get there. So that's what's going on in here. So as we go back, so this is where the forge is, as you can see, and right next to it is Steve's room. And we need to expand, and so what we're going to do is this room is going to get transformed. I've already had Jeremy working on cleaning out other areas, and so Steve will not lose his storage. It'll just get moved to actually a more convenient place for him. It'll be right outside his studio. So this will all get emptied out. These 3 3D printers Steve's going to take home, because we don't need them. They're just not suitable for our needs, but it's fine for somebody just printing some bases or whatever off. He's been printing lots of these, getting ready for the Old World, which will be coming out whenever it comes out. And so all of this will get cleared out, and then what we're going to do is we're going to build a workshop in here. So like workbenches is my plan, and then have a couple desks in here as well. And we're going to move the desks, at least the computer stations, out of this room, and we'll have more room for 3D printers, but more importantly, we'll have like more workstations and storage, so that, because right now, like you can see Jeremy's working over there, that's the airbrushing booth. And he's also near all the resin and alcohol, which even though we're ventilating fine, I'm not super comfortable with this long term. And so I want to get us out of this room, because even though we're ventilating really, really well, it's, I don't know, part of me is just like long-term effects we don't really know. And I don't, it's hard. Resin printing is just such a toxic thing that you got to be very careful for. So I hope that if you have 3D printing at home in resin, that you're taking the precautions, because it's nothing to take lightly. So in here instead, we're going to set up workstations, workbenches that will then have all our paints and tools and everything, so we'll print in the other room, but then bring everything in here to assemble and clean up and paint if we need to. And then we'll have a couple, like a desk right here with the computer, and maybe a desk right here with the computer as well. And then still a computer for Steve as well. And we'll just make sure, so Steve will still have his workstation, and then he'll have access to all of that as well. So this room, as I back up, will get transformed. So that'll be a project. I'll make sure we video that project, because it'll be really neat to see that expansion. If you made it this far, I got a little surprise for you. So Zorp, as you may know, we did Hex and Hills of all of Middle Earth with him. So that video, if everything goes out right, will be at the end of September 28th. He'll be putting up the video, and then we made a video too to go along with it, and it had a kind of a silly intro. So I'm going to show you a little behind the scenes now. I'll end here and then just cut it in, because I had Luca kind of hold the camera as we were getting ready to do it, as you'll see in just a second. So if you made it this far, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for supporting us. Like I said, you can check all the links below for things like affiliate links for the various printers, my recommendations, and also to go on our store if you want to buy those new score trackers, because they're pretty fun. And they can come with dice too if you choose. Or you can buy the STLs and print it yourself. Anyways, this is Matthew from the Mini Wargaming Forge. Happy 3D printing, and enjoy the behind the scenes wackiness. A little behind the scenes, we're getting ready for our Lord of the Rings video. Oh, James, you look great.
I look wonderful.
You look wonderful.
Hey, it fits the part,
So we're
dude.
recreating the Isengard Unleashed, where Grima Wormtongue is like, "But my lord, there is no such force." And then it's like, we see all the Uruk-hai for the first time, except it'll be the print farm, and talk about the number of tiles. So James here is going to be my lovely assistant, Wormtongue. And I, of course, will be Saruman. I couldn't find a white bathrobe, so it's Saruman the Grey. And it's size small.
You just spray it white, I don't know. That's a lot of spray, never mind. Perfect, you've absolutely.
Alright, and then we'll get Luca and Jeremy over here. We got some orc masks. We got 1, 2, I got 4 of them, so we could have, I got 4 of them. We could have 4 people in here. As that'll be like when you turn, you're supposed to see the big Uruk-hai army. In this case, you're going to see the big print farm.
Just shoveling.
But we're going to make sure that we won't film for very long with these on, because
can't really breathe.
There's like 2 eye slots and a nose slots, but there's no mouth slot.
All right.
So you don't really breathe through these.
Not well, at least.
And then you got a hole, because we're oh, is there actually a clip?
I don't know, maybe.
I don't think we have to be too good.
I've never worn a wig before.
Yeah, me neither. And where's my mirror?
I feel like I need to run like olive oil for this hair or something.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest you kind of oil it up a little bit.
I don't know what kind of oil we have handy.
Ah.
That would just destroy your shirt too, right?
True. Well, it would drip down. Yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah.
Okay, that's worse.
I mean, you'll have lots of time during makeup and prep to make it work, I guess. But I mean, that's the whole idea, anyways, to not look great, I suppose. Look close to the part, but not.
Like we're trying to do the part.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah. Oh, I look beautiful.
I
look like Saruman.
That's the white wisdom. Yeah, dude. You know what? If I seen you walking down the road like that, I'd be like, that's definitely some guy trying to be Saruman the White.